Good morning, guys. This is Eric from Bloom's Auto Mart, and I'm making a video today about how I became a car dealer in 30 days. I went from not having a location, inventory, insurance, license, bonded, anything, to being up and running in 30 days, and here's how I did it. All right, so let me start from the beginning. At the time in 2013, I was selling GPS tracking devices with a couple partners of mine. We had come together. One was a car dealer. I was the kind of new kid out of college, and I had a guy that had put in like $30,000 to start this GPS tracking business. So we got started, everything was going well, and the car dealer, we become friends, and I was able to purchase cars through him on his car lot. So one thing led to another. I would do one here and there. Everything was done, through his lot. I was able to purchase from the auctions and kind of learn through him, which was really a valuable tool. And so it got to a point after a couple of years that I was purchasing more and more cars, kind of lower end stuff, the $2,000, $3,000 things, and then selling them through the lot. Well, in June of 2013, I had sold like 10 cars through my friend, and each time he had charged me $495 as like the dealer fee and kind of administrative fee for doing the paperwork and all of that, so which I thought was fair. Then I took a step back and I looked at how much money I was spending on a monthly basis, and that was my best month at the time, but I was optimistic that I could sell a lot more if I had more opportunity to buy them, whether it's through a floor plan or going to more auctions or a little more freedom with the paperwork. And that $5,000 or almost $5,000 that I paid him in June would have paid my overhead for several months at an actual car lot. So my family and I were on vacation in Sleepy Hollow, New York, visiting some friends for the 4th of July the following month, and we were sitting around a table just like this, and I was talking to my friend saying, listen, I really think I want to take the next step and open up my own car lot, which was really kind of frightening because we had one child at the time. My oldest son, Levi, was born in 2011, and my second son was about to be born in October of 2013. And here I was with a relatively new business. We had only been maybe 2 years at that point selling GPS, and things were going well. But the combination of selling cars, and I had a little lawn business at the time as well, I was kind of trying to put the pieces together. So it was actually at that table while we were on that vacation where I went straight home and got to work. I followed all the steps online, and I'll go through those with you here in a few minutes. But I was completely up and running from not having a name of my business, no location. I didn't have anything. Insurance, I had no idea how to become a car dealer. And I did it in 30 days. And it took a lot of work and following up with people and staying on top of them, making sure that they got out there to do the inspections and making sure that the paperwork got processed quickly. But that's how I did it. So let me go through the steps. All right, so here is how I got started. I went to my cell phone and I said, how to become a car dealer in Florida. And 12 steps to getting your dealer's license by the FIADA, which is the Florida Independent Automobile Dealers Association. And this is exactly what I followed right here. 12 steps. Super easy. Well, not easy. You have to really want this. Like anything else, when you're starting a business, there's going to be hurdles, and like getting any kind of license, you have to have all of your ducks in a row to get it done and get it done efficiently. And I really wanted this, so I had everything ready, from the very start. Whenever they went to ask me a question of where was the paperwork, it wasn't, hey, I'll come back with that tomorrow or next week or whatever. I already had it filled out because I knew the question they were going to ask. And so I just did my research, and it made it really smooth. Like I said, I really couldn't have asked it for it to go better. And again, I was up and running in 30 days. Okay, so step number one to getting your dealer's license in Florida is you have to take a pre-licensing course, almost like a real estate license. There's a pre-licensing to be able to get your dealer's license. I did all of mine online. I'm not really a classroom learner. I can go through, especially in my situation with having a family and a full-time job at the same time, I decided I could take it online, and it costs a couple $100. You can go to fiaba.com to find that information on pre-licensing courses that are already available. Alright, so the next step is to come up with a name, and I really agonized over this. I wanted to pick something that kind of meant something to me. I ended up putting my actual name in the name of my business. I thought that I want this to represent me and what I stand for, which is selling the nicest cars that I can for the money. And of course we have to make a profit, but really to be truthful, where these aren't brand new cars, here's what we know about them, and kind of change the way that people feel about used car dealers, hopefully. I did contact my CPA, and I ended up creating an LLC with a sub-S corporation, but please contact your attorney or CPA to create your business structure. Alright, the next thing that you have to do that I definitely don't like to mess with is the IRS. You need to get an FEID, or a Federal Employee Identification Number. You can do this by going on to irs.gov and fill out your information. From there, you'll be assigned an FEID number, and you'll need this to open up a bank account and for your dealer's license. The next step is location. It's location, location, location. I found a place that was just off of a major road and right behind a relatively busy car lot, and right across the street from one of the top buy here, pay here car lots in the city. And I thought that it was a perfect location. It had a office with a bathroom, as well as a one-bay garage that I could pull cars in or detail inside, that I thought was really nice. There was a detail shop actually right next door as well. It was close to auto parts shops as well as mechanics that were right around the corner, so I could walk back and forth because I didn't have any employees at the time. And I also negotiated with the property owner, where I believe he wanted like $850, maybe even $900 a month for rent. But I explained my situation, that I'm just starting out, and that I'm a real citizen. I have a family and kids, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to trash the place. I really want to try to build a business. I have my name on it. And after talking to him for a while, I offered to pay, I think it was 6 or 8 months in advance for the lease, and we were able to get it all the way down to $650 a month for the location, which was awesome, because that extra $200 or $250 a month was able to cover my internet, some of my electricity, the other expenses that go into having the building. So I was able to have my first location all in with my insurance, everything included, for right around $1,000. So the next thing you have to do as a car dealer is get your resale tax certificate and your tax number from the state. You can go to floridarevenue.com. You're going to need this to be able to purchase vehicles and also to pay your taxes on a monthly or quarterly basis. Again, that's floridarevenue.com. So one really important part of becoming a car dealer is being properly insured. The state of Florida requires car dealers to have at least $25,000 in coverage, as well as a $10,000 personal injury protection policy as well. This is in addition to the surety bond, which covers you as well. The bond is credit-based, so it can be anywhere from a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 based upon your credit, but you'll need to secure both of those before you can get started. Fingerprints is the next step. It's number 7 on the list. You have to be electronically fingerprinted for the state of Florida to obtain your dealer's license. They have some approved vendors that are already on the list here that I'll attach at the end in the comments, and you have to go to them and have yourself fingerprinted before you can move on. The next step is having a deed or a contract lease with the landlord for the property. It has to be in the business name, not in your name personally. And I thought this was always a little bit strange, because step 4 was to find an approved property. You can have the DMV come out and do like kind of a pre-inspection to make sure that it would pass. At this point, you're signing the contract, and this is what you would submit to the state of where your location is, and it would be approved just pending the sign being properly put up. Installing the sign for your dealership is the next step. It needs to include the days and hours that your business is open, and it needs to be clearly visible from the roadway so that customers can see where your business is located. Number 10 is photos. You need to take photos of the entrance, the parking spaces, and then the customer parking spaces for your dealership. And this will be submitted with your application to the state to get your dealer's license approved. The next step is photos of your dealership. You need to take photos of the entrance as well as the customer parking spaces and the cars that are listed for sale parking spaces. This would be turned in with your dealer application packet to the state. Step number 11 is to actually print out and submit your dealer application. There is a $300 fee that goes along with this. The application can be found at the state website, the Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. The website is flhsmv.org. The last and final step in getting your dealer's license is to make sure you have the correct permitting for your state, local, and city. Each one may require a separate permit. I know that the city that I'm in now, there is a county and a city business tax receipt that you have to get every year. You can submit it online, but make sure you check with your individual city. So that's, really it. I followed all of those steps exactly to a T. I worked on this daily, throughout the day while I was at my other job as well. It really took a fair amount of work, and again, you really have to want to make it happen. You can't just kind of lackadaisically, fill out the application and send it in and then wait for a response. I was sending it in, confirming that they received it, asked how long it would take, finding out, really letting them know that I'm trying to get this accomplished. And whether they like it or not, I'm not sure, but it was effective for me. It also could have something to do with the time of year. You can think this was July, August is when I got my license. It's maybe a slower time for the DMV. It's not during tax time or any of the holidays really. So I was maybe convenient or lucky that way. But it is possible, and it's not as hard as you would think if you really want it. So if this video was at all helpful for you, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to build the subscriber base for my channel here. We have just under 100 subscribers now, but we're really looking to grow it. If you can do me a favor and just click the subscribe button, you'll have more content like this on dealerships. I also own a rental business as well, and if there's anything that I can teach you or show you about the rental business, I own Daytona Jeep and golf cart rental. We do Jeep Wranglers, street legal golf carts, and we're just starting to get into renting electric vehicles, Teslas specifically. So if anyone's interested in those, feel free to comment below and I'll be happy to message you back. Hey, have a great day, guys.